to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Roob Empire. I am the Philosopher King, the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things.
Let me tell you about it, brother. What's going on, y'all? I had to give a little Eli Drake love there on that one, but hey, listen, guys. My name's the Strong One. I have a perspective on things. Your Iron King, the Two King Kingdom. I'm so excited for today. I'm so jacked up for today. And the right hand of the king, that evil, dirty, some would say a little obnoxious, Dusty, is at the right hand. What's up, brother? How you doing today, man?
Good. I got a Dusty right off the bat.
Listen, you got to start the show with a Dusty, or it doesn't count. Do you understand me? Here's number 2. Dusty! Oh my gosh. Are you ready to go today, bro?
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
Here's the deal
Yes, I am.
about the show today. We are literally... I want you to imagine going to the gym if you're not a gymaholic. I want you to imagine the treadmill is already at 20 miles an hour. And we're about to throw you onto that treadmill. There is no warm-up. There's no greasing it up. There's no, hey, how was your weekend, huh? How'd everything go? You're going right on the treadmill, baby. And it's game time. And we're ready to go. We'll be your kings for this today. Right. All day
Give me
long.
Give me your...
What's wrong with my earpiece, bro? I'm trying to be on the treadmill right now. I'm trying to go fast.
Yeah, you get your legs pumping, I'll get
I'm
your
trying
earpiece.
I'm trying to get pumped. But welcome to Plausible Foolishness. If you're checking us out live on Clapper, head over to twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness to check out the entire show. If you're watching us live on Facebook, we love you. Grandma, thank you so much for hopping on and checking us out over there at Facebook Live. And, for the middle-agers over there at YouTube, we appreciate you for checking us out live over there as well. What's up?
And where can they check us out at?
twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. That'd be twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Your two kings are here to take over the world. And Dusty, the right hand. So I'm very excited for today. Don't worry about my earpiece. I don't need an earpiece.
Already got it.
I don't need it.
Already fixed it.
I don't need this stinking thing.
Already fixed it.
Badges? I don't need no stinking badges.
It's already fixed.
You want to know why?
Well, you're gibbering and John.
What? Gibber and John? Is that a racist thing? Is that a...
How dare you?
Where did she come from, bro? Gosh.
She has
you
her
didn't
ways.
have your earpiece. You let her in. We need an exorcism in here.
Speaking of Greta, I love how God just owns liberal logic. I love it. I love watching God do what he does best, and that's confound the wise and make the intelligent just seem so futile and stupid. How many years have we've been told that climate change is real?
Mm-hmm.
Since the
global
90s.
warming.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
Captain Planet.
Well, first it was global cooling.
Yes,
Then it was
global
warming.
Yes.
Then it was climate change because we can get so specific.
You skipped a step. It was global cooling, then global warming, then the ozone's gone. Ozone.
Ozone.
No
hairspray.
ozone forever.
No hairspray.
No hairspray. The next thing was.
Then we switched. Well, then it was global warming again, tied to ozone because, without an ozone layer, then you get much more radiation.
Sure.
Anyway,
better tan.
But then we started cooling again.
Weird.
And so, they realized, well, okay, we've gotten specific, and that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
So now,
what's that? Yeah,
Florida's gonna be underwater.
Well, yeah, but now it's cooling again because the solar flare stopped. But and we realized our mistake. We got too specific.
Oh, got too specific.
So,
is that like when you ask a liberal what racism actually is? Like if you actually make them give you a racist example, they can't give one. Why?
Yeah, like give me an example of a system that is racist.
Systematic racist, yeah. And they can't do it.
What law or institution is oppressing people currently, and I'll be with you in stopping that. And the whole
police.
Climate change.
So
we'll call it climate change. It's a big umbrella of whatever bad we can make you believe is.
And with our liberal logic combined,
yes,
we get Climate change.
Yeah. So, have you guys ever seen the movie Walk Hard? Have you ever seen that one before?
Yeah.
You remember the part when he's coming off of drugs and he's like trying to kick the drugs and he's like, I'm freezing, and the nurse is like, get him blankets, and then he's like, I'm so hot, get him ice, and then he's like, I'm hot, and then I'm cold at the same time, get him more blankets and less blankets, and it's so absurd. That's every single time I hear about this, but I love when God steps in. We talked about the Keystone Pipeline getting wrecked by the Biden administration, right? Because oil bad, right? Just like Orange Man bad, oil is bad, correct? That's liberal logic that they have out there.
I mean, we have a history, a wealth of history of pipelines bursting and destroying.
Yes. I mean, creating Chernobyls everywhere, right? Is that how it works, or no? Not so much?
That's nuclear.
Yeah,
But-
okay, yeah, sorry. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be afraid of next. But now...
Well, okay, so we don't want pipelines because they're so dangerous. So what we want are trains and giant ships.
that could crash.
That's never been a problem.
Oh.
Wow.
Wait a second.
That's
like, didn't they dump,
strange.
like, billions of gallons of oil?
Yeah, Exxon Valdez or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, and we definitely want, big oil rig platforms in the middle of the ocean too.
Well, yeah,
that's
I mean, it's
totally,
great for the
that's
water,
good.
right?
That's good.
No? Florida? Anyways, so they get rid of the Keystone Pipeline. Remember, the liberal logic is fossil fuels, gasoline, oil is bad.
Fracking,
bad.
burning your water.
Bad. Okay? What was that, Mr. Mackey? Oil's bad.
Oil's bad.
Okay.
If you use oil, you're bad.
You're bad. Gasoline bad. So, listen, people, it's episode 150. It's going to get weird today. Now, here's the beautiful thing.
The danger is real.
God steps in and says, Biden, you silly, silly man. One, you can't control the weather. Let me repeat that slowly for all of you liberals out there. As much as you want to believe that you're in control,
What was the name?
You're not.
What was the name of that politician? It was a black dude. And he was telling us about the weather machine.
Yeah.
That believe it was the Jews that he was calling out for their weather machine.
Yeah, weird.
I don't remember his name.
That sounds like a Farrakhan thing to say, or an Obama
very
thing.
very similar. Yes.
Yeah. So, long story short, we don't control the weather. I'm sorry. As badly as my conspiratorial brothers out there want to believe this, we do not control the weather. You do not control the world. I am so sorry.
Actually, guys, I need to let you guys know something.
What's up?
The reason why Florida's not suffering from snow, I kind of created a artificial snow maker. So
Dusty controls the weather.
I'm sorry. At least it's not here.
Yes, true.
And that's why we've got record people coming into the Florida.
1,000 every single day. Every day. I've only seen the reports of 1,000. I can't substantiate your 2,000 number. You got to send it to me though.
Okay.
I'll substantiate it because listen, you are the
There's
fact
Orlando
checker.
Orlando Sentinel.
I don't doubt that though, bro. I do not doubt that at all. But what I'm saying is, you don't control the weather, Greta. I'm sorry. You don't.
How dare
Jeez.
you.
Why does she keep showing up on the show?
You called her name. Stop it.
Is it like Bloody Mary? When you
Yeah,
say like Bloody Mary
probably.
3 times,
Yeah.
she shows up.
When
Anyway,
you say something politically incorrect 3 times, she shows up.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true. That's true. Men are not women. Men are not women. Men are not women. Is that how that works, or is that? Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Anyways,
solar panels are the future unless they're covered in snow.
yeah. Right. We were told that. How dare you? We're destroying the world. It's oil's bad. Okay, we heard about this.
Okay.
We heard about all of this. We got rid of the Keystone Pipeline to save the world. And, God sent a bunch of ice. Because, we don't know if it's warming, cooling, changing. We don't know what the weather's going to do because you don't know what the weather's going to do. You're not in control. Okay?
If the weather listen, here's a quick primer on how you can know if something is climate change, climate, or weather.
Okay.
If it's nice outside, that's just weather.
Got it.
That's just your local weather.
Got it. Okay.
Now, they want you to believe that they believe that climate is weather averaged over a long period of time.
Oh, okay.
But they don't believe that.
Not at all.
And reality is, if it's bad outside, that's climate.
So hurricanes, tornadoes.
And it's
Yes. Any natural
Snowstorm.
disaster.
The ice storms,
That we
polar
control.
vortexes,
Yes.
unusually record high, heat numbers.
Yes.
If it's bad outside, that's climate, and it's caused by climate change. Okay? Which is caused by us and cows.
Interesting.
That's another thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
We got a million things to
We
talk
have
about.
so many to talk about.
So
But
what about all the cars, all the Teslas out there in Texas? That
Well,
all of a sudden
I mean,
have no power.
yeah, it's
to
so
drive.
strange.
Oh!
But anyways, ice lands, the biggest ice storm in Texas history, they got no power. Weird. All of the windmills freeze over, right?
Yeah.
Solar panels freeze over.
Yeah.
That's like 23% of their grid.
Gone.
Windmills.
No power. Strange. It's almost like the wind that Donald Trump warned us about that wouldn't be effective failed.
Consistent.
Crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And solar panels fail when
Green
gets
energy
frozen.
isn't reliable.
not
Wow.
one bit.
What?
Not one bit.
Stop it.
Stop. But listen, it's weird. So God confounds the wise. We're told that green energy is the best way to go. We got to change everything over, right? I mean, clearly we got to make that switch. And God says, not so fast. I gave you gas for a reason.
Unfortunately, we should also be praying for the millions of people without power
100%.
in
Listen, I got family in Texas.
not sub-zero, but like what was it, like 10 degrees
Yeah.
outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's scary.
It's
very
terrifying.
scary. It's terrifying.
Especially if you're not used to it. Like, Houston, Texas, for example, right on the coast. I didn't think it was possible for it to
Yeah.
get that cold there. But I've got family that lives in Houston. It's crazy. I got boys that live in Dallas. They're like, what in the blue heck is going on around here?
See what happens when you cancel Mardi Gras?
Yeah, exactly. You cancel Mardi Gras. That's what happens. No,
Hell
but
freezes over.
hell literally freezes over. All the sin and evil that would have been done in that town
Yeah.
and all over the Caribbean just,
It just
spread out and froze everything over. But, no, like,
Roman Knightley has a good point. Germany is deeper in the same hole than Texas with the green energy. That's true. That they converted a lot of their grid into green.
hope God doesn't freeze it over or cause an earthquake or like it happened in Japan a week ago. Like, here's the thing: you cannot control earthquakes. You can't control natural disasters. You cannot account for that. The most the most efficient, cost-effective, takes care of the most amount of people, including those poor people you pretend to love, are those evil big oil. That's what takes care of it.
And when that's another point. You mentioned poor people.
Yeah.
So obviously a cheap source of energy would be best.
Sure.
And oil is the cheapest.
Still is. Well,
Yeah.
except for gas
Or
prices.
oil and coal.
Coal.
Fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels is what I mean.
Yeah.
When you think of the world at large, what's the poorest? Let's consider one of the poorest regions of the world.
Asia, Africa.
Africa. Yeah, Africa. Did you know that it's illegal to build a coal plant in Africa?
Dear
Yes.
Lord.
Yeah.
They're probably coal rich, though. I mean,
They probably are.
natural
They are.
resources.
It's
They're
illegal on the world stage to build a coal plant in Africa. What is the thing that would turn their economies around?
Energy.
Energy. Thank you, Dusty. That's why you're the right hand.
Don't give him that. Don't give him that much
that
love.
pisses me
Don't
off.
give him that much love.
Well, don't worry, I'll throw
Do
something
not
at him
give
later.
him.
Don't worry.
Don't give Dusty that much love.
But that ticks me off. Okay.
Yeah, but you're a
They're
racist. You don't clearly care
They're
about black people.
purposefully withholding what would make Africa, what would bring Africa out of poverty.
Yep.
But while claiming that that we're so racist and all this bullcrap, it's disgusting. And then it's the same thing with that ties into me with the Native American lands and how none of the reservations are actually owned by the tribe. They're on lease from the federal government.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting.
Very disgusting.
That should have been done away with a long time ago.
Hey, but you can have a casino.
But you don't care about indigenous. We care about indigenous peoples and
as we keep them in
Oh,
poverty.
and we're going to talk about.
There's too much to talk
There's
about.
so
today.
much. There's so much to talk about.
But this is episode 150, so they knew this was going to be jam packed. Just a side note before we get into the next step, because it is our 150th episode. No, that's a handshake. That's a make of power. Oh yeah, handshake. That's 150 episodes. A long time ago in a land far, far away, this sexy SOB sat across from a dinner table with me in his old apartment and said, "Hey."
My wife says we should do a podcast, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, just tell me when."
Let's go. Let's roll. Let's
And I was
roll.
like, well, what? Nobody has ever responded in kind when I've approached a subject like that, and then here we are.
Yowie wowie!
Dusty. Always trying to steal the spotlight. Freaking Dusty!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, listen, we appreciate it, man. But listen, 150 episodes later, we started off in my old office, the top floor of my old office. One little mic sticking up out there. And now we got freaking lights, production, a green screen behind us. We got like technological
Don't forget
advances.
the back porch.
The back porch.
A
yeah,
producer.
A producer.
We got a freaking producer. Are you kidding me? 150 episodes later, it's getting legit.
A producer who pays us. We don't pay him.
We
He
wanna pay
pays
him.
us.
I
This
wanna
is
pay him.
madness.
I want to pay
It's
him,
crazy.
though.
Oh yeah.
I wanna
We
pay
want
him.
to pay him. Help us pay him.
Listen, we're not like Bill Gates who's trying to take beef away from you. Okay, is that what you wanted to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about?
yeah. We're gonna get there.
But I just want to state for the record, if you're on the green energy kick and you're not having the nuclear conversation, Exhibit A, Texas. I want you to see what happens when you get away from the quote fossil fuels. I want you to see what happens, and don't you dare pull out that home generator and try to heat up your house if you're against oil, because what powers generators, Dusty?
Green energy, right?
No.
Wind power.
There
No.
are some solar.
Solar?
There are some
There
solar
are
generators,
some,
but
most of them are what? Gasolina.
Yeah, gasoline. Petrol.
Yes, petrol.
Mm.
As the Brits would say, petrol.
Yeah, or the
Petrol.
Aussies.
The Aussies, right?
Yep.
But you can't have it both ways. It's like, but this is the whole hypocrisy, the liberal logic of green energy. I'm gonna
Well,
fly.
My favorite thing is the helicopter
Yeah.
flying using fossil fuels, spraying a chemical on the wind turbines to de-ice them, made from fossil fuels.
So we needed 2 levels of fossil fuels just to fix it, man.
That
But-
one USC vet guy who has
Yeah.
the longest name amongst our viewers.
Amen.
Our pipes just burst, so it's cold in Texas. Lol.
Jeez, bro.
Man, that sucks.
That sucks. Sorry about that, man. Sorry. But hey, listen, that's the reality of the situation. You've got people who are... this unfortunately, which is sad, it's Texas, because that is a very red state, but this is the direction they want to take you in America, because, you know, we don't talk about the fact that natural disasters don't hit us as badly as they used to. Like, think about the devastation of hurricanes, ice storms before, and those deaths have been mitigated because of things like fossil fuels and technology. But you know, we want to go to a obsolete. I mean,
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm okay with them having wind turbines.
Sure.
You know, if I could afford putting solar panels on my roof, I would do it.
Sure.
As long as
But
I
let's-
got to keep the energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the deal. Like, you know, you put the you have the battery systems, and then it feeds back into the grid. And in some cases, you know, you get paid.
Yeah. And Florida
You
get paid, man.
Yeah, because
Really.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's you're not paying an electric bill. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you don't pay an electric bill. You're getting paid a little bit, so it's like a net. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So either way, I mean, granted, you're gonna have to pay back the cost of the panels and
Yes.
all that junk. But but let's not kid ourselves. In a couple of years, there's gonna be more dead solar panels than garbage in our landfills. You
Yeah.
know, like you know, putting 23% of your grid on wind turbines is a mistake. Like, that should supplement, not go out and then cause, you know, 4 million people to not have power
Yeah.
in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
In the middle of the coldest winter that Texas ever had. Thank you, climate change.
Climate change. It was clearly climate change.
Yeah.
I love when I made that video too on Clapper. People were like, "Well, climate change is the reason that happened." I'm like, "You are so stupid. You're so stupid. You spent years saying global warming, and I was like, well, it's climate change now." Gosh. Anyways, but thank you, God, once again for confounding the intelligence of what's going on.
And here's the deal: is that they just because they call it climate change, there's still the idea is still global warming.
It is.
You know,
It's
because
still...
what they care about are the greenhouse gases that are supposed to cause global warming. So, but
climate's
and then they just they confuse.
Climate's always change.
Yeah, they just confuse the issue.
Yes.
Okay. So they can create this little.
It's concentration camps versus overflow facilities.
Yeah.
It's abortion versus murder.
No, for sure. It's definitely word wizardry.
It's women's rights.
Women's rights, yeah.
Versus abortion.
Abortion, yeah, right.
And it's definitely word wizardry, but it's also this there's this mist, there's this shroud of this fog on the topic.
Yeah.
You know, that also boosts their credibility in some ways. You know, so they can make statements like, yeah, the greenhouse gases cause it to be warmer, and then the polar ice caps melt, which then creates more water vapor in the air, and that's why it gets colder during the winter.
And the sea
and
levels
you're just
are
like,
rising.
okay, I mean, I don't know enough about climate to say that that's stupid, but
you don't have to know that enough to say that's
but you're
stupid.
talking about warming causing
Cooling.
more cold.
Well, here's the other thing.
But
here's the other thing about the whole argument is, if you're emitting more greenhouse gases, what breathes those greenhouse gases?
Yes, plants.
Plants. The thing that you want us to all be on, right? You want us to
and
eat
protect.
plants and bugs and protect.
Oh gosh.
Literally, the thing that you want us to be on, that's what that happens. And guess what plants do? They emit more oxygen that we breathe. So it's almost like God made a natural filtration system. It's like God's in control again. Strange. Do you create the oxygen out there, guys? You don't. Just like you don't create the weather. But it's a beautiful thing. Speaking of your boy, speaking of plants and food and stuff like that, your boy Bill Gates, who's
He's great.
yeah, listen, he's a master. He's like the master of the universe. Like, he's literally the master of every single discipline.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Coding, coding and computers.
I get tons of viruses.
To virology.
Yeah,
and vaccination.
100%.
Food distribution.
Food distribution,
food distribution
creation.
and farming.
He's the biggest farmer in the world
agriculture.
now.
Yes,
Biggest farmer in the world that doesn't want you to eat beef.
he's got 69,000 acres in Louisiana and Arkansas.
Yep.
And more elsewhere. And then he tells you that we shouldn't be eating beef. That rich countries shouldn't be eating beef. Okay, we should eat what was the words that he used? It was synthetic beef. Synthetic
beef.
Which would be well to me my first thought was cloned beef or something like that.
No,
that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about Impossible Burgers.
Yep.
And
bug burgers.
That's the other one, but I don't think he's actually talking about bug burgers.
He's not, but
he's talking about plant-based, chemical-ridden slop burgers. And I wonder why. I mean, it's obvious because his heart is so big for the planet that he wants that he wants to save the world from cow farts causing climate change, right? That's really what it is, right?
No. It's a bigger agenda. But
don't tell me that it's because he's now the world's largest farmer.
No, he's the world's largest vegan teacher.
The world's largest farmland owner, and stands to make billions of dollars off of plants.
100%. I mean, that's literally...
No, that can't be.
Yeah.
He's Bill Gates.
No nefarious problems with that guy whatsoever.
Nothing.
Hit my X-Files music. Just hit it, bro. just gave you the rational explanation of what this psychopath is doing. Now I'm going to go conspiratorial
Let's
because
go.
it's episode 150. Why in the world would they not want us to eat beef?
Oh,
Think about
I'm with you here. It weakens us. To make us weak.
The average testosterone level right now in America for American men is lowest than it's ever been in human history. The average testosterone level is supposed to be anywhere from like 400 to like 900 in most males. Right now, the average American male has a testosterone level around 250 to 300. What does testosterone do for you? It makes you more manly, you know, because we don't want male influences in America.
No.
Higher testosterone actually lets us live longer. They don't want to tell you that because remember back in the 80s they started the steroids are bad, testosterone's bad, but if you're a woman, estrogen good. You can become more of like a woman, but not so much like a man. Because if we have men in society, we can refute stupidity, right? If we've got the people like Mr. DeSantis, who's literally, well, we don't know if it's literal. We cannot confirm the story. But telling people like selected President Joe Biden to go F himself, we can't have that. Because you can't have that because you're not compliant. You're not compliant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what's crazy to me is this, and here, this is why I hit the conspiratorial music. Because the reality is this, I go to buy an energy drink yesterday, and I'm thinking, dude, it's been a year since this mask stupidity, so on and so forth. I go to a strongman competition over the weekend. I got third place. I didn't die, so that's good news, whatever. There's about 300, 400 people in a very small space. You know how many masks I saw worn? 2. I saw 2. And they were the most soy boys that could possibly walk into the place. So all the chicks, all the dudes, no one's wearing a mask because that's kind of how Florida is. But what's still sad is there's a lot of compliant people. I go to the gas station to get my customary energy drink that's going to spike my system and kill me faster. But there's like 8 people in line and they're all wearing masks. But you know what's funny is they're all under 20. Every single one of them. All of them men, all of them under 20 wearing masks. But what's funny is when I go into populations with older people who are supposed to be at risk for the Rona or the pick, whatever they want to call it nowadays, they don't wear masks. It's crazy because older people probably have higher testosterone levels than the freaking men that are supposed to be in their prime right now.
No, they drink out the outside hose.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we live in a
immune.
completely different world. I'm terrified for my daughters. I hope that there's still men around by the time that my daughters are going to have, you know, get married and have kids. Because they're soft. They're soy boy soft. And they're really compliant. Because if you have low testosterone kids, you're very compliant. Now, I'm not saying an indictment on all women and blah, 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 blah. Call me a misogynist, whatever. Don't give a rat's butt, okay? I don't care. I'm the strong one. I love being hated. I like thrive on hatred, okay?
Come on, Iron King.
Huh?
Villain.
Villain is on the shirt today. Literally. I like being the freaking villain, okay? But let's get real. On a huge level, let's get real with ourselves. You take away the beef. Remember the old Wendy's commercials? Where's the beef? Okay? You get soy boys. And guess what? Our beef is getting put, you know, all those fast food burgers are now soy. Everything's trying to become soy because we're still trying to lower the testosterone level. You're way more compliant when you're high on, or when you have a higher estrogen level. It's just reality of the situation.
And that's just
Sorry.
just the half of it.
Yeah.
The other half is that what is the most nutritious thing that you can eat? Beef.
So people argue plants.
Wrong.
I mean, the
Wrong.
lagoons have protein in them, bro.
Look into
Lagoons.
it. Do the research. Beef is the most nutritious thing that you can eat.
No, I saw the documentary Game Changers on Netflix, man.
Yeah, and then did you actually follow those people's careers?
None of them were that good. They all sucked.
They either
afterwards.
suck or the ones that didn't suck but went full vegan have been on the injury list every year.
Listen, I don't mean to judge people, but it's so funny when people come up to me because I do the strongman stuff, and they're like, "Have you seen the movie Game Changers? There's a world-renowned strongman that's on there," and I'm like, and I just smile at them. I'm like nice about it because they just don't know, you know, like people don't know, but like he sucks. Like I would kick his face in. Does that make sense? And this is like my third.
You've been to 2 competitions.
I've been to 2 competitions. I'd kick his face in. Like Robert
Obers.
He did you ever see his take on that?
Mm-mm.
He's like, yeah, he's a strong man, but not a single person's heard of this guy ever. No one's ever seen him in an international contest, but they prop him up like he's this game-changing, son of a bee, so on and so forth. And they're like, yeah, but in the video, he's like picking up a bunch of people and walking with them. I'm like, bro, I did that on the back porch with like 4 human beings. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's very doable, and trust me.
You did that with 2 people on your leg lifts.
Well, I did it with leg lifts, but I've done it with 4 people on a yoke and walked with 4 people. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But anyways, like, and I'm not good. I'm just an average dude. I happen to have a decent bench press, but I am a low-level strongman. What?
Decent.
What do you say?
Yeah, a decent bench
I'm a
press.
decent bencher, okay? I'm,
600 pounds is decent.
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 there-
I mean, granted, there are people that do have 700
yes.
plus, but
Yes.
how many? Very, very few.
Listen.
You are not just decent.
Side note, there have been more men that have climbed Mount Everest than bench 600 pounds, okay? I'm in a very small percentage of people. Not tooting my horn. It just is what it is. I'm the villain. Get mad at me. Whatever, okay? But
Beef is nutritious.
beef's nutritious.
Beef is the most nutritious. The least nutritious thing you can eat is all the carbs and sugar that they pump into all of our food.
Legumes, bro.
No.
Game changers.
Legumes are just carbs.
Game
With
changer.
a little bit of protein. And not the complete amount of protein that you need. And it's not just amino acids. Alright? There's other things that we haven't even accounted for. And studies are coming out like crazy all the time confirming this.
Yeah, but you won't see those in the mainstream.
Of course not.
You can't see that on the mainstream.
Of course not. Because all these people have their money sunk into giant plots of land.
Yes.
Which is what happened with the Game Changers. Written by that, he was directed by that complete butthole,
James Cameron.
James Cameron, who I cannot stand ever since Titanic.
Funded by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's a vegan now.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish I went back and done vegan. I was like, you
would not have been anything.
Exactly. No, that's what's funny. The hypocrisy with Hollywood once again, because not only do they fly to like Davos on their private jets, emit a bunch of whatever's supposed to be bad in the air, and then tell you not to use it. But then they're like, oh, you should
Carbon
be vegan.
footprint.
You should be vegan. Blah blah blah. Anytime those dudes try to get ripped for any role or get jacked, they only eat meat. That's all they eat. Like that's all they eat. Chicken, beef. That's all they freaking eat to get ripped. I'm sorry, guys. Thor's body, not
that was
in-game
bison.
body.
That was bison.
It's bison. That's beef. I mean, that's all.
Emu.
But you listen, man. You can't tell people anything anymore because people will believe the stupidity. Like, for how many years did we say, hey, listen, Biden's probably a pedophile? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't have any confirmed.
There's no evidence.
There's no evidence other than the pictures of him, like, groping little girls in public.
And
sniffing them awkwardly.
Over and over and over.
I mean, there's no evidence other than your lying eyes. But, I don't know if you saw the town hall a couple days ago.
I didn't watch it because I don't want to listen to him for.
Well, nobody watches CNN.
Yeah.
Their ratings are trash.
Yeah.
There might be more people
They
watching
have
us.
ratings?
Well, there might be more people watching us at twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. All of you there on Clapper right now, what are you doing? Head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Check out the whole show. You don't have to look at the freaking green screen. You can see the sexiest man alive next to me, and you can see this whole show and hear Dusty a heck of a lot better. I mean, I know that's painful to hear Dusty, but he's there too. So guess what? I love you, man. You're like our Snurdly, which we'll get to in a little bit. Rest in peace, Rush. But the reality of the situation is you should head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Now,
We are your 2 kings.
Your 2 kings.
You will obey.
You comply. You soy boys. But anyways, the first statement out of Biden's mouth, hey, everybody knows I like little kids more than I like people.
So little kids aren't.
Well, I mean, that's
If they're not people, then it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, that's consistent with, the Moloch worshipping Democrats. I mean, they don't care about children because they kill them in the womb, and when they come out, they let them get molested by, child molesters, and they make laws where dudes that think that are chicks can be in, weird compromising positions in bathrooms with them.
Stop! Don't touch me yet. This is
I did.
my no-no square.
You went there to the no-no square.
I mean, but I don't want a weird dude being in my no-no square with my daughters. But anyways, notoriously known for this. You know, we've well documented Bill Clinton. 26 trips, Little Leader Express.
Yep.
Epstein, big Democratic fund. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on. But it is rather interesting. The very first thing out of his mouth was, "Everybody knows I like little kids more than I like people." Good old Joe.
Good old Joe.
And he didn't stop
Uncle
there.
Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
And he didn't stop there, man. Uncle Joe, who, killed your Keystone Pipeline, really wants you to be on green energies that are going to freeze you to death.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will try to get rid of beef, and he's, coming for your guns. We'll talk about that in a second. But he said something rather racist. Just a little bit
No.
racist, because
It's
we all know.
because we know. We know what white identity he is, and we'll get to that.
We gotta do that next. White identities, because we gotta make people understand
Yeah.
the levels of whiteness. So now here's the thing: Biden gets a pass on his racism based on what my man's about to break down for us. But Biden stands up in front of a quote national audience. Well, not really national, and the only places that place it in are airports, and nobody was in airports because all the flights got shut down because of ice. But anyways, the 5 people that watched it, for us, and replayed it, he literally gets up on national TV. I can't even say that with a straight face. I can't say national TV with CNN. But anyways, they get up in front of an audience of, the Orange Man Bad Crew. They're dwindling Orange Man Bad Crew. And he literally says, COVID's been impacting black people more, and Hispanics, because in those communities, especially those rural areas,
Rural and
inner city, high urban,
high urban.
they don't know how to use the internet. They don't know how to use the internet.
So that they can't schedule the appointment at the Walgreens, for vaccines and stuff. Right?
Now, let's get real, people. If Orange Man would have said that, you would have crucified him, right? The biggest racist ever. It's confirmed. The president that, started Opportunity Zones, the First Step Act, got the lowest black unemployment of all time, literally put a coalition together of black leadership to figure out what's going on with blacks in America. He's racist,
No.
but the guy who spoke at a KKK member's funeral, not racist. The guy who wanted segregation.
Yeah, he didn't want his.
He
He didn't want the schools to become a racial jungle for his kids.
Not racist. Not racist at all. The guy who thinks every 7-Eleven is run by an Indian guy.
You have to have a slight Indian accent to
No,
get.
he's not racist.
Who was astounded by how clean
Yes.
and well-spoken Barack Obama was.
And then on the campaign trail, remember he said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black." You remember that one?
Oh god.
That was a classic. That was a winner, right?
That one hurt.
Got in front of Black Lives Matter leadership and told people to hell with them. I was shocked that he got up in front of a quote.
Well, didn't he meet with Black Lives Matter? Oh wait, no, he didn't.
No, that was before.
He met with.
He
a
went with
few-
them before he was selected.
Yeah, which is sad.
And
but-
then once he realized he didn't need them because
Yeah.
we had hackers.
True.
Wait,
why would you?
I'm sorry. What? Oh,
When you got Dominion software, but anyways,
then to hell with them.
but I'm shocked that he got in front of a national audience. I can't say it. I'm sorry. It's a word. A national audience. I did it, and said that black and Hispanic people, just can't figure out the internet.
Oh yeah. Well, this reminds me of there's this one filmmaker. His name's Ari something, and he does a lot of man on the street type stuff.
Okay.
But pointing out liberal logic's illogic. And this was years ago, and he's going around to a bunch of white kids in university.
Yep.
Asking them why voter ID laws are racist, and their response is exactly the same. Well, these it's because the minorities, just wouldn't, they can't get IDs.
They can't get driver's license.
Can't get
They
driver's
don't
license.
know where they
They don't know
are,
where the DMV is, man.
Wait,
and they just don't have access
Just don't.
to driver's license. Then, well, here's the best part. Then he goes to black people and says, "Do you know how to get an ID?" And they're like, yeah, you just go down to the DMV. They're like literally telling him
Free
the
blocks
corner of the streets that the DMV is on. You just go down the DMV and get an ID. He's like, "Do you think voter ID laws are racist?" No. I mean, we need to know who's voting, right?
Yeah.
Is there? I mean, but some people are saying that you don't know how to get an ID or you don't have access. He's like, what the hell? You're just completely like, that's nonsense. That's stupid.
Yes. But that is patented 100% liberal logic. That's literally what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's amazing is...
Well, and we're going to get to it.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get to it. You're going to see.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is that's his response to COVID-19. You know, that's, disproportionately affecting black people more than other people. But you know what's funny is Harvard came out with a study. I don't know if you saw this.
Okay.
Harvard had a solution that would have completely saved all black people.
You say would have?
It would have.
So it's not. It's something
No.
we can't implement now.
No, it's a Harvard study now.
Okay.
Ivy League. This is peer-reviewed study. If they would have got, if I as a black man would have gotten reparations for the sins that your father did to me.
I don't think my father.
No, it doesn't matter.
Did any
You're
sins.
white. No matter what, even though 3% of white population in America had any slave, ties. If Harvard said this now, Harvard, good old Harvard, if we would have just got reparations, COVID-19 wouldn't have affected us. In fact, it would have. Let's read the headline here. CNN shocker.
You can bring up the article on the.
Bring it on up for the people, man.
It's under. Yeah, there you
Boom.
go.
We'll read it for him.
Yeah, we'll just read it. Okay, so reparations for slavery could have reduced COVID-19 transmission and deaths in the U.S. Harvard study says.
So that's all we had to do, man. All we had to do to end the COVID-19 deaths.
This
was
is
just
the first
reparations.
sentence. COVID-19 is disproportionately sickening and killing black Americans, comma, the result of centuries of structural racism, comma, a group of Harvard researchers says.
I can't do just that. Listen. Just those two sentences are the most patently absurd and stupid I have ever heard in my entire life.
And now,
Period.
Here's the thing: the structural racism isn't the welfare state, in this article.
No.
We would say that that's the structural racism that has led to
Absolutely.
this, that has kept them in poverty.
Yes.
But we're just, evil conservatives.
Evil conservatives. Well, I'm not even black apparently. Because I voted for Trump, so I'm not black.
Well,
anymore.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
So
Turn in
I'm
your
just
black card.
I'm just white. It is what it is apparently.
Well,
You got that
and
white
who said
card,
that?
Joe
Oh,
Biden.
Joe Biden. again,
Joe,
yeah,
Joe-
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's a theme.
If you don't know
It's a theme.
who you're voting for between me and Trump,
You ain't black.
you ain't black.
Hey,
Oh, it worked.
listen. I mean, but that's what's going on. That's the racism that's happening, and the fact that an Ivy League school would even put that filth out, is laughable. How can you substantially even say that a study shows this? That's not science
No.
at all. Science is testable, provable, repeatable. It is what it is. Can you go back in the Wayback Machine, give people reparations for slavery, and be able to show this? Can you do that?
Give people who have never been slaves in their entire lives
Okay.
money from people who have never owned slaves in
ever
their
in their
entire
life.
lives.
100%. Because that'll fix Rona. Well, really,
To
the
fix
flu.
Rona and to fix the problem of, I mean,
Yeah.
when Chappelle Show
Chappelle Show.
did the skit where they all get reparations.
A rich bitch. Yeah, that was great.
I mean,
classic.
What?
Classic.
It was. I mean, it was accurate.
Mhm.
What happens when you an influx of money to a community that hasn't had it? Okay.
Didn't earn it.
And
Well-
didn't earn it. Yeah, true.
The same
And
thing
then
with
and
immigrants.
then and doesn't has never been taught how to handle it.
Same thing that happens to everybody that wins the lottery.
Well, same thing that happens to any American that gets a stimulus. Like even the stimulus we're getting now.
Mhm.
Are people getting out of debt with that? Think about that.
Not many.
Like think about it. Like that's universal. That's not a color thing. That's a reality and culture thing, right? And it's not even a white and black culture thing. It's just if you didn't have money before, you get an influx of money you never had before. No offense, a lot of that goes to stupid stuff. It is what it is.
Roman Knightley has a great question. Wouldn't the Democratic Party have to pay the reparations? That's a really good point, except that they're the ones pushing the narrative, so no, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they push it so they don't have to pay for it, even
Exactly.
though
They push it on us. Like they do everything.
100%. But hey, listen, that is patented liberal logic. So Biden has shown himself racist multiple ways. Just this week. Just this week, Dusty, which has been fantastic, man. So many more things to talk about.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
The be more careful.
Ooh, be more careful with the sub.
Be more careful.
Nice.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. This guy.
You're a real American, and
Absolutely.
you're a real citizen of the Roob Empire.
100%.
Thank you for your voluntary taxes.
You know what, though? I did find a very interesting article this week that absolves Biden of already, 50 plus executive orders?
57, I think.
And he's net negative jobs since he started, correct?
130,000.
130,000 net negative jobs. How many people has he killed by Rona? Because according to the media, every death under his administration is directly affected by him. So,
No, not anymore.
well, but
That
but
only
but
happens
it's
if
the
you
same
have orange
rules.
skin.
Okay.
No, what are you talking about? The same rules?
So Biden,
You don't play by the same rules when you write the rules.
the non-dictator, non-selected, clearly the most popular presidential candidate of all time. We completely believe the election. There was no fraud whatsoever on this platform. I can't even say that true. But anyways, that Joe Biden absolves his racism, absolves his stupidity, absolves the executive orders, absolves the lack of jobs, absolves the fact that Texas has absolutely no power right now. Brilliant by beating his granddaughter at Mario Kart.
How that's just, that's just Uncle Joe. He's just one of us. He's just like, come on, I remember when my son got addicted to crack and his computer got stolen and then we had to brush that under the rug.
Sure.
That was fun. Oh gosh, he's just one of us, making. I remember when I went to China and made a deal for my son and his law firm. That was great. He's just great.
You know
He's
what?
just great.
But, the thing, and...
You know what, though? He's so cool. I mean, he's got barbed wire fence wrapped around the Capitol right now.
Yeah,
in
there's
DC.
still like 6,000
Troops.
National Guard and
He's
in
just like
DC.
us.
Just like us.
When bad things happen, we put up a fence and
He's
hire a
great.
bunch of, hire a
Isn't
bunch
he
of-
great?
Ignore the dictator behind the curtain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
he beat-
what curtain? What are you talking about?
But listen, guys,
The Iron Curtain.
he beat his granddaughter at Mario Kart.
Dude, the guy plays Mario. I play Mario Kart.
No way!
He's just like me.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, this is another funny one. Did you see did you see Valentine's Day with Biden and his caretaker? I mean, his wife. Did you see? What did I say that so soon? Listen, I don't want to be about the business of dissing the first ladies. I don't want to talk about like Michael and what's his Barack and Michael. I mean Michelle. Michelle. Sorry, Michael. Sorry. The penis always throws me off. But what, did I?
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. I don't want to diss Biden's
Make me get
relationship
that again. I
with
really
his.
don't want to push that
I
button
got you.
again.
Listen, I don't want to diss Biden's relationship with his character. I mean, his wife is no way a caretaker whatsoever for him. Brave and beautiful as usual. But did you see the interview on the lawn of the White House with this cat?
Mm-mm.
He's dressed up like Iceman from Top Gun, which one I will give him props on that. I will say about Biden. He does pull off the aviators
Yeah.
and the jacket,
The bomber jacket.
The bomber jacket. I do like that look. I will admit it. See, I said something positive about Joe Biden. Okay?
No, he definitely looks the part.
He does. He looks like the...
I mean, even at 80, even at like 93, he looks, he does look the part.
I mean, it is amazing. When he was first in Congress, like 40,000 years ago, he didn't have hair. And now the older he gets, the more hair he gets. How impressive is that? And his face just keeps getting pulled farther and farther back. That's impressive in itself. But he does pull off the bomber jacket and the aviator. But he's on the lawn, and the news reporters are fawning over Biden and his caretaker. I mean, his wife, I keep saying that. I apologize. But they're fawning over him. They're saying, hey, on this day of love, Biden, how can you bring love back to America?
This is a Valentine's Day interview.
Yes. And Biden, he says, he's like, hey, you know the thing, And no, it wasn't quite that bad. He just said, listen to people and, love them and blah, blah, blah. Just like he's not listening to anybody talking about, election fraud or the hoax that is, I'm sorry, the hysteria that is the coronavirus. But what's funny is the reporter's like, oh my goodness, if I bring you donuts next week, will you show back up here, Joe? And
Did
he's
somebody
like,
freaking say that?
literally said this. Please look this up.
If I bring you donuts.
If I bring you donuts, will you come back to the lawn next week? And Joe,
to the White House lawn.
yes, and Joe
He lives in the White House, right?
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
So what is this stupid question?
Well,
It's not like he's gonna.
There's another quote. Remind me to bring that
It's
up. that he
not
said
like
last night.
he's at a different place
now
that he would
listen,
have to.
We understand this, but they're fawning over him.
Yeah,
Okay,
obviously,
right? They fawning over him like they fawned over Trump. Now,
like they fawned over
Joe
Obama.
Biden-
You mean
Joe Biden,
they didn't fawn over Trump?
after years of being the stud that he is,
Who's this?
Joe Biden,
Joe Biden.
the
okay.
sexual stud that would never
yeah.
take advantage of
Well,
women.
you remember that that coloring book,
Yes.
the kids coloring book that had him stepping out of the shower in a towel,
Oh, dear Lord.
shirtless,
Don't make me hit this button.
the
Please
sexiest
don't
man in America. They said.
Don't
He
make me
he likes
do
kids
this.
more than he likes people. Now, he takes the opportunity. If I bring you donuts, will you come back here next week? And he moves in for the kill on this woman, which is ironic because he's with his wife, who's not a caretaker at all, and brings coffee to her. Like, hey, here's some coffee. You can come back, blah, blah, blah. He literally says this. But what's ironic about the deal is the camera pans with him to go to this reporter, and gee golly, she does not have a mask on.
What?
So not only are they
No, but it's
fawning,
but well, I mean, they're not inside a federal building, so they're on the lawn.
they're on federal property.
Yep.
You cannot
is
be on
federal
federal property.
But was it on federal
Without a mask.
property or in a federal building?
It's federal property.
Are you sure about
cannot
that?
be on federal
100%
property
sure.
without a mask. Is it not property?
Yeah.
It's
federal
property.
Property.
She doesn't have a mask on. And admits it like, oh, don't cut me. I have my mask on. He's like, that's
She
all right."
says that.
Literally says
She
that.
says that as the camera.
Literally says that.
Oh man.
Well, that's almost as funny as, we need to wear two masks. So Biden's wearing an N95 mask and a cloth mask over the N95 to go and look at a virus
Yes.
center. And then halfway through it, all of a sudden his N95 mask disappears. And
Weird.
it's just the cloth
It's
mask.
crazy, man.
Because, what?
Well, it's
He
hard to
couldn't
be.
breathe.
He couldn't breathe. That's so strange. That's weird.
Huh.
Why would you want to breathe in a pandemic? That doesn't make any sense.
Especially Biden and his
Yeah.
his frail age and
And this goes back to the
mental
video
state.
of the firefighter with the oxygen meter
Yeah.
saying even one mask is not giving you the amount of oxygen that you need.
No, that's pandemic. That's already been debunked by the
yeah.
debunkers and fact checkers. But anyways, my
Well,
point
the
is
fact
this.
checker is paid by the
Yes.
the social media companies who have an active interest in
Yes.
censoring us.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, cool. Totally legit.
But this is the stuff that is happening all week. You've got Biden being a racist. You've got Biden and his reporters fawning over him. They're being hypocrites as they're telling you that you're an evil person for not wearing a mask.
And Roma Knightley has a great point, and she's breathing on an octogenarian, no less.
Yes.
So she's breathing on the most vulnerable people in our society. One of the most vulnerable people in our
Yes.
society.
1000%. But this is the America we've got. This is the danger that's coming. But here's the thing. The setup is very simple, right? They are going to portray him as a feeble, nice old guy, you know?
That just can't run the country
he just,
anymore,
you know,
so we got to hand it over.
But before he hands it over, you know, he issued something in the middle of Friday night that nobody really paid attention to. Remember, I don't know if you remember this or not, but the liberals told us we were insane to think that Biden would ever come for our guns. You remember that?
Yep.
You remember that? You are a conspiracy theorist to think that Democrats would ever want to come for your guns.
Didn't
Even
he
though
say?
he took on the NRA and won.
But didn't he say, like, legit, I'm coming for your AR-15s?
No, that
No.
was
Blah, 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 blah.
what was that? The
South Bend.
complete moron. No, not the gay boy.
Yeah, it was him.
Was it him too?
It was him.
Gay boy said it too.
Yeah, I will take your AR-16s.
I thought
and
that
your,
was skateboard guy. That skateboard guy. did
Beto
that.
O'Rourke,
Beto.
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 Too.
who
Sorry,
actually
Gable,
is
same
back
thing.
talking about how much of a failure Texas is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the
The ice.
icing.
The ice.
Because he uses whatever disaster he can to prop his political career.
Even
up.
though what failed was his policy. But anyway, the things that he would advocate for. Anyways, remember, we were told we were insane. Biden would never come for our guns. But he issued an ordinance to to Pelosi, and they want to start taking away guns. And the language is very interesting, because in the language of the conversation it says that they want to, quote, make sure that there's background checks for guns. Time out for any gun owner out there. Go ahead.
And if they want to buy ammo.
Yes.
You have to have a background check if you want to buy ammo and a gun.
Yes. Now, question. Any person who owns a gun, how many in here own guns? Okay, all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
You walked into a gun show, they just handed it under the table to you, smacked you on your butt along the way, right? That's how you got your gun?
Well, isn't that how everybody does?
It didn't happen for me.
that
Maybe
wasn't me.
maybe because I'm black, it might be. It was different for me. Because, America's racist.
I think we had the same experience.
Oh, wait, you had to go to a gun store,
Yeah,
An FFL.
and then you had to do a background check.
correct, yes.
You had to wait 3 days
Yeah.
to
it
get
sucks.
that weapon after they've checked your background.
And I really wanted to kill somebody, so. Oh.
Oh, don't
Well, we
you
just-
say that!
we just got demonetized.
Demonetized!
Oh, wait. We're not monetized.
We're not on YouTube anyway, so it doesn't
Well,
matter.
we are on YouTube. We're just not monetized. on
It's
YouTube.
true. Yeah, piss off YouTube.
But,
Did I say
yeah, for sure.
Did I say that?
That was a joke, by the way.
And
I
you
didn't want to kill anybody, and I don't think a 3-day waiting period does anything to stop that.
Now, the place we do make money is twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. So if you're still on Clapper, I love you. I see all the likes on the side. That's awesome. Thank you so much for supporting the Strong One and the Mad Scientist. But you got to go to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. What is it, Dusty?
Slash.
Twitch.tv/plausible foolishness, right? That's the show?
That's the show.
That all of you are watching right now, that's going crazy right now. Clapper, get with it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping me dunk on TikTok. It was very fun to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. It felt rewarding to finally dunk on TikTok. I've been on there for 2 years and literally surpassed it on Clapper in 7 months. Not going to lie to you, very like that. But
Vet guy agrees with us on YouTube. He says, yeah, F you, YouTube.
yeah, YouTube can...
And as soon as Rumble.com
please, God.
implements live stream, which is supposed to happen this year,
We head
hopefully
to
soon,
Rumble.
we will be there.
First of all, look at that. Look at your boy. Yeah, Dusty. They're getting you online too, man. They're getting you, man. But anyways,
I love it.
long story short is this. They're coming for your guns, by the way. So there's already a background check. So what background check are they adding to this?
Well, they want all sales. So, like,
All sales.
let's say I want to sell a gun to you
Got it.
outside of a gun store.
Okay.
Well,
You would
we
have to have a background check, and you would have to have a background
Interesting.
check. Everybody gets a background check.
Wow.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Oh, and if you wanted to go and buy ammo from Walmart, yeah, you have to get a background check.
Where's that in the Second Amendment? I'm curious.
Oh, and by the way,
Where's
there
the
would be
original
an
background
additional
check?
taxation on the background check,
Yeah.
and a tax on all ammo sales.
I mean, my thing is, where is that in the Constitution?
Where's the original background check? Where's the waiting period? None of this is in the Constitution.
Oh,
I believe the
It's not
Constitution
limited
says
your
shall not
ability.
be infringed.
that's what I thought it said.
The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
But don't put that on Instagram. They will fact check that as false.
Oh, and
They will fact check that as false. I found that out this week.
you're not allowed to have more than 10 rounds in your gun
Piss off.
at any point.
Yeah,
And-
only the military.
But
Yeah.
Biden says, you know what? We have the technology now to make guns smarter and safer,
Oh, dear
so that
God.
only one person can use it, no one else.
Hmm.
Where's that technology? I have not seen it.
I mean, I've seen it on James Bond. We remember where they try to use Bond's gun and it backfires on it, whatever. But I mean, they got
I've seen some
fingerprint or whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't work.
Well, it's like
No.
it's like prototype stuff.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Prototype stuff that's not ready for market.
No.
No.
But
And even if it was, it doesn't matter. You should any law saying that your gun has to have that is bogus and unconstitutional.
100%.
I am a Second Amendment purist.
Yeah.
We should be able to have anything that we can afford.
Well, you know what's
Go
funny?
Missouri.
Go Missouri. Missouri just put in a bill this year that says,
DeSantis, if you're watching,
"Come on, DeSantis.
Follow
we
suit.
know you are because I mean we're the two kings.
DeSantis, we got you elected 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
We were there.
let's get on the ball and follow in Missouri's footsteps. We should have been the leader on this. I'm a little disappointed, but
I'm a little disappointed, man. But yeah, White House is coming for your guns. Wow, there's so much to talk about with this. But I mean, let's get real with ourselves. That's why it's getting dangerous. That's why this episode is named this, right? Because the danger is the puppet they've put in place, right? The Mario Kart winning old guy.
he's one of
Yeah,
us.
but
He's one of us.
he's real, and thus the danger is real.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a real person.
That exactly. His policies, hurt jobs. They're going to kill people with ice
And they're
storms.
real.
But don't worry, there is a way
Mm-hmm.
that we can fix society.
How's that?
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, time out. Well, first of all, where did
Deep state.
Deep state.
do we have a deep
Deep
state?
state.
Do we have deep state showing up?
No.
What?
I thought we got rid of this.
I thought
guy.
deep state. You already got the election.
Well, and
You
it-
selected
listen,
your guy. What do you want?
He's just letting us know that he's bought all the ammo to keep it out of the hands of the wrong element. It's time for common sense gun control as well. The wrong element being the people.
The people.
You don't want the
And we give it back to you, the people.
So good.
yeah. The people are the wrong element.
Of course.
You know? We gotta have it. The military needs to have it, obviously.
Sure.
You know?
And only the military, right?
No. Also the bodyguards for the politicians and the super
But that's the
wealthy.
military
And certain
right now.
white people. Certain white people, right? I mean, you got to talk about the scale of white people, man.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So
So this is let me tell you, this is the path to fixing our nation.
Okay.
People.
What do you got?
Okay?
What do you got?
So why don't you bring up image number 1?
Oh, image 1.
We got a nice little graphic here. It's called the 8 White Identities. See, so what we need to understand is that there is a regime of whiteness.
It's got a color graph too, like red bad and green good, right?
See?
I'm so smart.
Well, you're a person of color, so that's an obvious.
I'm such a good little person
Yeah.
of color.
There is a regime of whiteness, and there are action-oriented white identities. People who identify with whiteness are one of these. It's about time we build an ethnography of whiteness, since white people have been the ones writing about and governing others. I'm sorry for writing about you.
It's hard, man. I just,
All right.
I was a
Close
little
that
scared.
one and bring up image 2. So what are the 8 white identities? Well, the worst one, the first and the worst, see, it rhymes,
First and worst.
is the white supremacist. Okay?
Oof. I've heard about those guys.
First worst white supremacist.
They're everywhere in 2021, man.
Okay, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And here's how you know one.
think you're
They're
Happy.
It's a clearly marked white society that preserves, names, and values white superiority. White supremacy is bad. White supremacists
Preserves
are bad.
names. What does that even mean?
It preserves, it names, and it values white superiority.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Then there's the white voyeurism. That's number 2.
That sounds bad too.
It's
dirty.
it's not as bad as white supremacists, but
Okay,
it's still
okay.
pretty darn bad.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's still in the red room.
Oh yeah, we're still in the red.
Red.
Yeah, we got a little tinge of orange, but we're not out of the fire yet. Okay. Now, and here's why: because a white voyeur wouldn't challenge a white supremacist. Desires non-whiteness because it's interesting, pleasurable, seeks to control the consumption and appropriation of non-whiteness, and has a fascination with the culture. An example would be consuming black culture without the burden of blackness.
Oh, like Joe Biden? You ain't black? Black, white?
Well, no.
No.
But you just—that's
No,
what he just did.
No. Trust me.
That's Joe
This will
Biden.
this will all become clear.
Okay, gotcha.
Once
Sorry,
we get
I
to
just,
the end,
I just heard
okay?
Joe Biden
Okay.
when you read that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I ain't
They
black.
can look similar, but they're not.
Okay, gotcha.
Trust
Gotcha,
me.
sorry.
Okay. Next one is white privilege.
Oh, jeez.
May critique supremacy, but a deep investment in questions of fairness and equality. Under the normalization of whiteness and the white rule, sworn goal of diversity. Well, I don't have a sworn goal of diversity, but I definitely have a deep investment in questions of fairness and equality.
What?
And now, if you want things to be fair and equal, then you are suffering from white privilege.
Wait a minute,
All right?
but I want things to be fair.
I want things to be fair, but I don't want things to be equal.
Well, you do want things to be equal. Just you're looking for equality, not equity. Grace Marie, welcome to the Roob Empire.
Welcome, girl.
All right? You're now a citizen of the Roob Empire. We are your 2 kings. And as we say many times, the taxes are voluntary, the people are free, and we roast liberal logic every Wednesday at 9 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness.
Amen.
Anyway, so white privilege.
Rules of the tongue.
I think we're all white privilege
All?
in this room.
All?
Yeah. We're,
How am I white
all the
privileged?
white. You can't be because your skin is darker than mine.
I mean, yeah. Clearly, I
But
can't be
I,
white privileged.
darker.
we're white privilege.
I mean, I'm half white.
we
but I
we
can't
want
be-
fairness and equality. We want equality. Okay. Now, equity is something else.
Oh, yeah.
Equity should be the goal.
Oh.
Okay. Equity is
It does.
equality of outcome, while equality is equality of opportunity.
Gotcha.
And if you're interested in equality opportunity, then you're well, I'd say 3 is smack dab in the middle of orange,
Okay.
and that's why Orange Man was bad.
Orange Man back. I see. He's
Okay.
white privilege. Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
So next up, white benefit, sympathetic to a set of issues, but only privately. Won't speak or act in solidarity publicly because benefiting through whiteness, because they benefit from whiteness in public. And some people of color are in this category as well.
Oh.
I think that's where you.
Oh,
fall,
that's
okay?
where I am.
Yeah, that's where you.
I found my place in the white
Okay.
supremacy.
Now that's. I think we're getting into yellow.
Oh, yellow. Okay. So I'm yellow.
And I think the next one is yellow as well. White confessional. Some exposure of whiteness takes place, but as a way of being accountable to people of color after. They seek validation from people of color. All right?
Oh, Matt Chandler.
Yeah, but maybe.
Matt
Maybe.
Chandler.
Yeah. This would be,
Oh.
maybe your evangelical woke.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Gospel Coalition. No, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, next is white critical. Take on board critiques of whiteness and invest in exposing, marking the white regime. Refuses to be complicit with the regime. Whiteness speaking back to whiteness.
Antifa.
All right, so they're
What?
critical of whiteness and the white regime.
Okay.
All right, the next is even better. Now we're in the green.
Oof, we're good.
Now we're
safe.
deep in the green.
We're
Okay.
safe now. We're good.
Yeah.
This is a
You're,
good
you're,
white.
you're,
This is
this is a good white.
good white
This is
person.
a good white.
Okay.
Okay. The white traitor. Okay. The white traitor actively refuses complicity, names what's going on. His intention is to subvert white authority and tell the truth at whatever cost. We need them to dismantle institutions. Okay. And then here we land. Good old Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe. Okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
Super green.
Super green.
Okay? I'm talking Fifth Element super green.
Fifth Element. Got it.
The white abolitionist. Changing institutions, dismantling whiteness, and not allowing whiteness to reassert itself. The white abolitionist is the hero of blacks and Hispanics the world over.
This is the way.
Yeah. They're doing the work that people of color can't do.
Oh.
All right?
Wait,
That's
people
what-
of color can't do things?
No, yeah.
But that's what racists
That
think.
you need the white abolitionist.
Yeah, but racists think that black people can't do things. Oh, liberals think
well,
that
that's
too?
see. Well, remember I said that in some ways it would look similar, but at the end you would understand.
I'm still confused though. But if
No,
you,
see,
if
the-
you say
the-
that black people can't do things, you're a racist, right?
Well, that doesn't include, not getting IDs or.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Things
See,
like
that's
that's just the
dismantling structures of racism.
But
That's
that's
just
the
the
last
system getting
definition.
you
That
right.
was good. That sounds like a racist
No,
to me.
see, the white supremacist likes that whites are supreme. The white abolitionist doesn't like that whites are supreme, but recognizes that whites are supreme and needs to do something about it.
But that's patented racism. That's white supremacy. So so is it a circle? Does it just go back to the top of white supremacists?
It's not a square or a triangle, it's a
Circle. A circle, right? Circle, right? A circle?
I just think you don't get it. That's why you're at White Confessional or whatever it was. White, what was it?
Well, according to Joe, I'm not black because I voted for Trump.
Yeah, you
so-
were white benefit.
White benefit.
White
Gotcha.
And yeah, so
Now he's white splaining. Is that what he said? That boy's now you're white splaining.
yeah,
You're
that's
white
true.
splaining now.
That's true.
You go all the way back. It's like chutes and ladders. Like you get to a certain place and you're like, oh, ladder. You go back. Chutes and ladders, man. It's great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They should. Libs. I'm giving you a new idea, okay? Because you're doing all the weird, books and games. Do a white supremacy chutes and ladder. Just when you think you're not racist, you
You're
go
racist.
back.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So if you were the black character, you'd climb the ladders. If you're the white supremacy, ride the
Well, no,
slides.
if you climb the ladders, that's racist because that implies slavery and manual labor. So you clearly can't put them there. I could literally write this for them.
Yeah.
I could write this game.
Turns out, if you have a brain in your head, you're in the white privilege category. If you're anything else, you're a
Well,
racist,
the thing.
and you've lost the plot.
So when we make money, are we gonna put Roman Knightley on the staff, the writing staff? This boy's he's been spitting fire all day.
They left out 9 white suicidalists.
Suicidalists.
Actively tries to end their whiteness by any means because they white and see living as oppressive. I mean, that's true.
This guy
Isn't that the end game? Isn't that the only way? Well, we've said this on the program before.
Yeah.
The only way, short of suicide,
sure?
but like if you really are gung ho, you're right. That might actually be 10.
Yeah.
Number 9 is the White Isolationist.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is go into the forest, all right, and never enter society again. Distance yourself from all human beings, especially human beings of color. Sorry, people of color. Sorry, BIPOC people. Sorry, I don't know what to call you.
But it's,
And I don't care.
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not even like that implies sitting on a porch and having a house. No, you should just sit in the dirt, because then you're extending the range of your whiteness. Okay.
Yeah.
But I live in Florida, so it'd be a swamp.
Well, them's the breaks, bro.
Hey man.
And thus your whiteness is contained to like a 3-meter distance around you,
Well, you're not
And,
eating beef and not using fossil fuels.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
and not affecting society or the planet in any way, shape, or form. So essentially, you're gonna commit suicide because you're gonna die
And
eventually.
don't breed. And if you do,
Oh
abort your
God,
kids.
no. Oh God, no.
It makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Plus, I mean, white people can be bred out of existence anyway. Am I right?
Am I right? You're gonna do.
I got you with a really stupid joke.
Sorry, man. I got
It's so dumb.
Yeah,
All of this is so dumb.
this week I felt like I got dumber. I mean, just the stories that just kept popping up. I'm like, it's just dumber and dumber and dumber. And
The only thing I kept hearing in my head over and over.
but Dusty, are you don't know? ways and never will, but you're using a black voice to get your white supremacist thought across. You realize this, right? I could literally write this game.
Oh yeah.
I could write
How
this
do you
game.
know I'm white?
I don't know that, but I'm just saying you're using a person of color to drive home that joke. How dare you? Dare you? Don't do it.
How dare you!
Dang it! Where's she
Call
coming
her.
from, man?
Stop calling her. How many times did I tell you?
Yeah,
Stop
so
calling her.
not only is the testosterone level dropping in America, but the brain cells are, because we've allowed this selection to happen. We've allowed all these stupid things to happen. We've allowed major corporations that we used to rage against. Remember those? We used to rage against corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Big corporations were bad, except for Disney, right? And they're firing Gina Carano, which, you know, we're running out of time to even talk about that. But the reality of the situation is this. It's only we didn't we say it was only going to get worse? Didn't we say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We said this multiple times. I'm tired of being right on the show. I'm tired of being right on the Strong One at, you know, Clapper and all the other things that we're on, and soon to be I'm on Rumble now. I'm tired of being right here with my other king here. I am tired of being right all the time. Are you sick of it yet? I mean, are you sick of this yet?
Well, like I've said many times, I'm never tired of being right.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the subject matter that on which we are right.
But we used to make fun of this. We used to satirize this. We used to make fun, like, they're literally going to make math racist. And then they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Math is
they're
racist.
they're literally going to put Joe Biden up as the president. And they did it. Okay? Like, we used to make jokes about this. Like, there's no way they would put a useless racist puppet like Biden in control. And they did. There's no way the first girl out in the Democratic candidates, whatever her name is, what is it, Kamala?
Camila.
Huh?
Kamala.
Spreads like Eagle Harris. Literally, they put her as the VP. Think about this.
Yeah.
Did you see Dusty's face? I won't do it. This is a PG show. I can't. That was good. See, moments like this, I wish your face would do show, but I can't.
Nope.
We can't let Dusty be on the show. We talked about all of this stupidity. All of it.
Deep State, no you're not. No you're not.
Face it, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the beautiful thing is this. We know how the end of the book is written, okay? I know what it says in Revelation. I know how this game is going to end. Jesus is ultimately in control, period. He proved that with an ice storm. He has proven it even now as the Democrats are realizing, dear God, what did we do? I've had two people just this week say, yeah, I voted for Biden and I regret it. I'm like, gee, you think? What did you think was going to happen? You literally listen to the media say, no, Orange Man does mean tweets even though the economy's kicking butt. Even though, you know, listen, record unemployment for blacks, Hispanics, and women. Oh, that's out the window already now because women now are...
No wars.
No wars. Like literally, all
His handling of the coronavirus was abysmal.
Biden hasn't done anything different.
Well, this is the thing.
Nothing.
We've never had a pandemic in our history, but we would know exactly what to do.
And then they get in and do the same thing. And here's what's funny about
And they lie. Like he said that they didn't have vaccines at the start of his term. Wrong. The vaccine was already there.
For 2 months. 2 months before he got in, the vaccines were out there.
A little company called Pfizer kind of came out.
Jeez, oh mama.
In the time frame that Trump said it would come in.
Yes, literally. And they would have had it earlier, but they didn't want to announce it before the election because that would make
Pfizer
Orange...
wouldn't refuse to announce it.
Yeah, because
Scumbags.
that would make Orange Man
Scum.
look.
Bags. Well,
And now
obviously,
we have
and
6
why?
companies
And
making
why? Why does Pfizer have a vested interest in it? Oh, because insulin was made super cheap. They couldn't make crazy profits off of it. You know, and so Biden's going to undo that, and did he? No. Yes.
And guess what? Insulin went up 180%.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
This is the madness. Remember, the corporations used to be the bad guy. Remember that?
Yeah. They still are.
Big Pharma used to be bad.
When did you change, Left?
And I hate having this thing because it's nuance. You know, corporations, giant multinational conglomerate corporations
What?
are bad. I don't know what he
Alphabet.
Alphabet.
Alphabet,
Yes.
Google's
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram. Oh yeah.
You
What's that?
sounded like Zoidberg saying Facebook.
Zoidberg. Is Zoidberg the?
Yeah, he's got.
Oh
the-
my goodness, what's going on? Like that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't watch the show enough. Zoidberg.
Anyway, yeah, it's not like business in general is bad. You know, the mom and pop, LLC down the street is not evil. Running businesses isn't evil. Making a profit isn't evil. But what these giant corporations are doing, they own our country.
Yeah, it's proven more now than ever before. The Democrats, let's think about this. Democrats were, quote unquote, the hippie flower people that said corporations are bad. They're the
Occupy
ones
Wall Street.
that said big oil
Remember
was
that?
bad. Yeah, Occupy Wall Street. These guys have told us for years that corporations are super horrible as they're taking it from behind. I'm sorry I had to use that analogy, from the corporations the entire time. It is literally the most laughable thing on the planet to me. And I'm not sitting here hypocritically saying that all big business is horrible. I still shop at, I still use Amazon, okay? I got my Chipotle burrito today, and I was super, super delighted when it came to my door, okay? Let's get real. I consume from big businesses, okay? But the right hasn't been sitting around saying that corporations are horrible. We haven't been saying that. You know what I mean?
No, we
Conservatives haven't been saying that because in a free market that we used to have, which we don't have anymore, where did that happen? Remember we used to have a free market? Remember that?
Well,
Remember that?
free market. I mean, it might
Like,
be.
small
It
businesses
might
could compete.
Well, it might be that in our lifetimes, we never did have a free market.
The internet
The internet
was the only true free market.
True.
That was it.
No longer.
Yeah, ever since the Fed was created.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think about this. Like, in a free market, it doesn't matter if you have a big. Listen, there's big companies and small companies, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And I think who was it? John Strassel made a really good point today. Think about 20 years ago, the big businesses were IBM, AOL. Remember, AOL was the companies that we thought could never be challenged. They got challenged and defeated, just like the Facebooks and whatever. But the power's just going to shift to another corporation that's going to do the same exact thing to our politicians, because our politicians are run by the deep state. Not the deep state on our show, but the actual deep state with deep pockets.
No, that's the one on our show.
It is the one.
Yeah. He is the one.
It's true. It's very true. But I mean, think about this and their interests, right? The lobbyists fight for their interests. That's why big businesses. It's weird. Small shops get shut down in New York, but Walmart's still running.
And what does every president talk about? Every presidential candidate talk about? The special interests.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get these special interests out of our democracy.
We've only had one in our lifetime that actually didn't take for special interest money. One. Donald J. Trump. But he was bad. But he was bad.
But
right?
Orange Man bad.
Orange Man was self-funded. That's why they were terrified of him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need their money. He doesn't care. He never cared. But again, all the Christian nationals out there, I'm not worshiping Donald Trump. I'm just pointing out the truth. The guy that you were looking for came in the most different package that you wanted. Okay, you didn't get Joel Osteen. You got Trump.
That reminds me of somebody.
Hmm.
And this might be a little bit of a stretch, but it reminds me of a group from the Bible who got what they'd been waiting for in a package that they didn't like.
This couldn't be the Pharisees.
That was the word I was looking for.
No way.
Pharisees.
Is that how human history always works out?
Yep.
We want Barabbas.
Now, Trump is no Jesus.
He's not at all.
No,
We're not worshiping
making that
Trump.
comparison.
We have roasted him on this show too. Okay, we have done it. Let's get real with ourselves. Orange Man is a scumbag, like everybody else is a scumbag, just like Joe Biden's a scumbag.
We're
okay?
pointing out not that he's like Jesus, but that the Pharisees.
Yeah, but the
are
so-called, anti-Trump Christian, whatever.
Gospel Coalition, Big Eva, we know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
We know who you are.
Yeah, you're Pharisee.
Yeah, you are. Now, with that being said, a lot of craziness. Don't want to end on a sour note. Probably more of a positive note. Speaking of Big Eva, but not really part of Big Eva. Carmen passed away. The musical. if you were in the Christian community,
artist, yeah.
Christian artist, good old Carmen passed
Love
away.
Carmen.
No rest in peace for that
He
man.
was
It's
known
rest in
for
paradise.
his first songs that weren't songs.
No,
Yes.
they were not songs. Yeah.
They weren't songs. Like
There were stories.
They were
Yes.
stories. Yeah, they were like little mini dramas.
He was like R. Kelly without, with Jesus and without, raping little girls.
But they were
But
good.
he was before R. Kelly.
He was way before
Like-
that.
Yeah.
Decades before R. Kelly.
He was like, in the closet before, sorry. I'm
Jeez.
doing R. Kelly. I'm doing sorry. But, rest in paradise, my friend. You are living it up with Jesus right now. We appreciate you. Was Russia Christian or not? I don't think Russia was Christian, right? No? Yay, nay?
He
I hope he was.
he always said he was very agnostic on the show.
Yeah,
about
so-
his about his beliefs.
Hopefully he came to know Jesus in the last couple weeks. But Rush, passed away. Hopefully he knew Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Hopefully he put his faith and trust in him. Hopefully he turned from his sins at the end and followed Jesus, because Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. We will always advocate for that on this show, because that is the truth. We will not lie to you. This platform is bigger than just politics. This platform, we want to destroy liberal logic everywhere, because that is an outroot of our faith and trust in Jesus Christ and the gospel and truth. We want to tell you the truth. That's why we do the show. So hopefully Rush came to know Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. But super influential, obviously. Big Rush Limbaugh.
Oh yeah.
We're doing this show for a reason. You're basically our Snurdly on the show. Snurdly!
Yeah.
Snurdly! Check on that. Right? Like, one of the most impactful guys from such an old medium. How old is the medium of radio? Think about that. And radio was supposed to die, right? Video killed the radio star. And as the years go on, radio has become more impactful. It's evolved into
Talk radio.
talk
has
radio,
just evolved
Yes.
in the last 10 years. Actually, 20 years.
Yep. podcasts like we're doing right now.
Well,
I mean-
30, really.
Yeah.
When Rush started. I mean, Rush is
Back
the
in
one
the
who started
Late
it all.
80s.
Yeah, 88 was when when he started.
Yep.
But the dude had a big mouthpiece, and he
Well, he
challenged.
built the mouthpiece.
He did. He did.
You know?
He did.
It's pretty crazy. He started in like 50 markets and then
Just exploded.
exploded from there.
Yep.
And basically paved the way for
Us.
yeah.
But that's
And
kind
people
of like
us.
he's kind of like the Leonidas story, right? The 300. You take down Leonidas, and all of a sudden, you 300 goes to 1,000. How many podcasts are out there now from the conservative standpoint? You got the Steven Crowders, the Alex Joneses of the world, the
Ben Shapiro's,
Ben Shapiro's,
David
Daily
Craven's.
Wires, the what's Ruben? You got Ruben out there.
The
You know what I
Blaze
mean?
Network.
Yeah, I mean Barstool Sports, which is I don't know. Do you guys ever listen to Barstool? Barstool's intense. I love those guys too. They're good times. But like, how many people? It's amazing how popular this medium has become, because people want to hear genuine, thought-provoking conversations.
I think
And that's
they
what that dude
mostly
did.
want to listen for truth.
100%.
And they hear the truth in the logic and in the evidence that we
100%.
speak.
100%. And don't believe anything we say. Verify every single word that comes out of our mouth, from Plausible Foolishness, from the Strong One, from the Mad Scientist, from Dusty. Check
Please do.
everything. Check it out. Make sure that we're telling the truth. Because like at the end of the day, that's what we want to be known for.
Yeah.
And that's I feel like the legacy Rushbo left on the show,
It's like
on the
what,
world.
99% accurate
Yeah.
his
Pretty-
whole life.
Pretty darn sure. Yep. Rushbo, Snurdly. But man, big ups to that. There's gonna be a big hole to fill there, but it's
Yeah.
like
Makes me wonder what about the people he employed, you know?
yeah.
What happens there?
Yeah, what
It's
happens
just-
next?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But other people to pray for. Vodi Bakham's a guy you got to pray for. I don't know if you heard about Vodi. Vodi had some hard stuff up in Africa. If you don't know who Vodi Bakham is, just look up Vodi Bakham. And he's probably he's considered the intellectual pastor that's out there. One of the smartest human beings on the planet. Amazing backstory. But the brother just spits the truth about Jesus Christ. He was in Africa doing ministry. He had some heart issues. Had to fly back to the States to get some treatment and stuff like that. So pray for him, because we're losing mouthpieces like Rush Limbaugh. We're losing mouthpieces all the time, that people that really are super impactful, and especially in Christianity, in a world of Big Eva, where we have the Joel Osteens and the Creflo Dollars and the freaking, I hate to throw them in there, but the Matt Chandlers and the Gospel Coalition cats that are out there. We need people that are like the Vody Backums, the Paul Washers of the world that are going to tell the truth and preach the gospel over and over again.
And see through the evils
and
of
see
this
through
day.
the evil, and see through the bullcrap, and see through the mask stupidity and the lockdown stupidity like the John MacArthur's, and see through the racial stupidity and Marxism like Vody's done so powerfully. We need more voices like that, and we as men, as the next generation of men and women that are followers of Christ, we need to educate ourselves every single day to be prepared to give an account for the truth that we know. And that's kind of the reality of the situation, man. That's what we need every single stinking day. So let's make sure we rise up. Let's make sure we're educating ourselves. Make sure we're praying hard, because that's the super important thing as well, especially being followers of Christ, that we can use to dismantle this evil. Because listen, it is humorous to destroy liberal logic, because liberal logic is rooted in sin and stupidity and hypocrisy and evil, and let's get real, deception. And I love destroying it every single freaking day on this show with you. And we've done it, what, 150 times now?
Yep.
150 episodes.
Yep, 150 weeks.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
And we're 6 episodes away from our 3-year anniversary on this show.
That is too cool.
Too cool, brother. So like we said before, man, what's the catchy tagline? I love what you
You know the
come
thing
up
I
with.
came up?
Yes.
Welcome to the Roob Empire. The taxes are voluntary, the people are free, and we roast liberal logic every Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Every freaking Wednesday. Final thoughts, boys. What do we got, man? Dusty.
Truth is easily found in the pages of the Bible.
Amen.
If you can't find it on the news, look to your Bible, and you will always find it.
Amen. I love it when atheists are like, "Oh, you can't solve every problem from the Bible." Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's been
You literally,
proven.
it's there.
It's been proven over and over and over and over, and I will keep saying and over until the end of time.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. What you got, bro?
2 things. One, we didn't mention it, but when we were talking about the 8 identities of the 8 white identities, and they kept talking about whiteness over and over again, and I just want to mention that what we've said on this show before: whiteness equals Western culture.
Yes.
This isn't just about the color of skin. This is an enmity to Western culture and what has made, you know, what the West, the what it is, you know, what made America what it is.
The Western culture is rooted in the Judeo-Christian foundations.
Yeah, it's
That's
the,
why it's
the
it attacks so
philosophies
much.
of the Greeks.
Mhm.
All right, the Republic of Rome,
The faith of the Jews.
the family, and the Judeo-Christian tradition.
Yep.
Those are the 4 pillars of Western culture, and they hate them all.
Yep.
They hate them all, but especially the Judeo-Christian values.
Yep.
And the family.
1000%.
They hate it because it makes men free,
Mhm.
and they don't want you free. They want you in their grip, under their control. They don't want a Roob Empire. You know, where taxes are voluntary and people are free, and liberal logic is roasted every
day.
Wednesday at 9.
At twitch.tv/Plausible.
That's right.
Twitch.tv.
They want the communist dream.
Yep.
They don't even need to call it communism. They just want totalitarian control over every aspect of your life because you don't know good enough.
Yep.
And even then, they don't really care about you. It's not for your betterment. It's for their betterment. It's for their wealth and their power. What was the other thing? I was listening to to Rush's show today, and they were just doing like the best of
Russia.
You know, because you know,
They could do that for 10 years.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
It'll still be relevant.
And so they were playing. He was playing a speech of that he gave in 1989, and he basically was saying, you know, all of his success. That he loves doing what he does. It's just it's just the best time of his life, and this was a year into his time on the radio. You know, he's just like, I love every day. you know?
Mhm.
And then he said, but it's only possible because of you guys who listen. I mean, I can make a radio show, but that doesn't make it successful. What makes it successful is that people want to listen to it, and they want to support it,
Yep.
and they want to spread it.
Yep.
And that's how I feel 100%. I love doing this show. And thank you guys for listening and for supporting us and for sharing it, for liking and subscribing and
Heck yeah.
and clicking notification bells and whatever it is that you do to support us. It's awesome. We appreciate it. And keep on doing it. Keep helping us out, and
Okay.
we can spread this around and build this platform. Only for big tech to take it away.
Yeah. So we talked about the Word of God, which is truth. We talked about just you guys, which is a huge part of it. So I'm not going to steal any of that thunder. But I will say one thing on my final thought. We're all fathers of daughters, except for Dusty. You got all boys, right?
Yeah.
But still, this applies equally. I'm a father of 3 daughters. He's a father of 2 daughters. There's a verse I was telling my daughters: "You're fearfully and wonderfully made." That is one of the first Bible verses I taught my daughter. She came to me like most little kids do when they don't know anything when they're 3. And my middle daughter Violet literally goes, "Hey, Daddy, I want to be a boy." You know, like every kid does, because they don't understand the concept of boy and girl. Fair enough. And I literally looked at her and I said, "Hey, baby, God tells you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. God wants you to be a girl for a reason. That's why God made you exactly the way you are." Magically, that conversation never, ever, ever, ever has come up since. And if you know my daughter, she's the most girly girl of all freaking time. Probably too girly for my taste sometimes because I'm a broody man, if that makes sense.
You're eating your meat.
I eat my meat, lift my weight, shoot my guns, roast some liberal logic. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing more precious than a woman. There's a reason why God made women. You got to think about this. God makes Adam after his own image.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. God makes everything. He said
The first creation to look at and say, "This is not good."
It's not finished.
it's not finished. Exactly. Right? It's not finished. Not good.
It's good, but it's not finished.
It's not complete. It's not
Well, it's
excellent
not good.
for him to
Well,
be
what he
alone.
says is, yeah.
It's not good for him to
He
be
didn't.
alone.
He looks at him and says, it's not good that man should be alone.
So you got to think about God knocks out Adam, rips the rib out, right? Out of the dust, out of the side of the man, and makes a woman. So think about this. God literally thought, man, I really think, sorry, this is going to get X-rated, but it is what it is. It's biblical, so I don't even care. And I'm married, so I can say this. God decided to make these things called boobies, which are really nice, and we really like those things. And curves, and hips, and legs, and long, beautiful hair. And a beautiful scent, because women don't smell as nasty as
No, they
dudes. Okay?
It's amazing.
And they're pretty and petite and super helpful, super smart, and do things way better than we do or can hope to do. A perfect helper. A hottie and a helper. And Adam's response was, what is it? Flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. Which literally translates, holy S, what a hot piece of meat. Does this make sense?
She's hot.
She's hot. Okay? God literally thought, man, I'm going to make this guy after my own image, but what would I want? Think about that. God literally thinks, what would I want to be with if I had the choice? And think about how beautiful a woman is that angels would literally forsake heaven, defy God, and come mingle with him in Genesis 6. Think about that. Think about that. That is the power you have, women. To desecrate that, to me, is absolutely heretical. It's evil. It's blasphemous. And I've been on this kick for this situation, and this is what it is. I've been saying things like, make women's sports again, okay?
Yes.
Let's not destroy the beauty of femininity, because let's get real. Feminism has nothing to do with pro-women. It has everything to do with forsake your womanhood, become more like a man. And it's disgusting. Which is a lie from Satan. Period. And when I see things like...
Satan particularly hates women
Oh, of course.
because they're beautiful.
Yeah.
and he was beautiful
But
once.
you think about it. Satan was the most beautiful creation that God had. But then God said, you know, what would be even better? A woman. Think about that. That's a mind-blowing thought. Especially if you're a follower of Christ or actually read the Bible, which you don't get that story in the Bible because nowadays it's a feel-goodery and, you know, it's all about helping. How can Jesus help you get healthy and wealthy, right? But not my church. Love you, church. Love what you're doing right now. Now, here's the reality of the situation. Women are an amazing gift. But when I see things in the world like the most brave and beautiful athlete of 2020 was Fallon Fox, right? Or whatever the heck her name is. Or this Shem is, okay? Who literally got paid money to break a woman's face when this thing is not a woman, it's a man. Is disgusting to me. It's disgusting. It's literal abuse. If I went and destroyed and broke a woman's face in real life, they would lock me up and throw away the key. Okay?
Now,
And celebrate
his
this.
argument is, this is only an issue because I'm trans. People get their face broken in MMA all the time. You know. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but men and men are on equal footing. Men and women are not, especially in physical combat.
That's exactly it.
Sorry.
That's exactly it. The difference is, the thing is that you're not actually a woman.
No.
Yeah, this was a sanctioned fight, so you didn't just do it on the street. But it was only sanctioned because our society has gone crazy.
Well, our society hates God, so if you hate God, you're going to hate his creation, especially one of those beautiful creation he made, a.k.a. the woman.
Well, if you hate
You're gonna
God,
destroy
you're
that.
in line with Satan, and Satan hates women.
That's true.
Yep.
100% true. So, my final thought is very simple. Let's not minimize what God created. There is a Bible verse that literally says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made the way that you are for a reason. You didn't choose it. Sorry. God made you that way. He made you the way you were supposed to be. He knew infinitely this is the path that's probably going to be the best for you. Not probably, definitely. I'm putting you in gender roles, God forbid, for the benefit of you, for the benefit of other people,
Yeah.
for the benefit of the kingdom.
Because that's how I created you to be.
Right? So, at the end of the day, it's no wonder, like, transgenders have a 40% suicide rate. Nobody wants to talk about that. They have massive depression. They don't fit in with society. They think society should fit in with them. I'm sorry. That's not how it works, because that God is ultimately in control. Just like God's in control of ice, God's in control of gender, guys. God's in control of this. The absolute best thing you can do is be in his will, period. Follow Christ, and you will have the... I'm not promising the best life ever. I'm not Joel Osteen. I'm not going to sit here and say, Jesus is going to get you health and wealth. That is not it. But when you're in a right relationship with God, you are put in a position where you are literally walking in his will, walking in a joy that you cannot speak of. It just is what it is.
Yeah, he doesn't promise health or wealth. He promises meaning and purpose
Enjoy.
and fulfillment,
Yeah.
joy,
Not happiness.
not happiness. Happiness is circumstantial. Joy is regardless of circumstances.
100%. But hey, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. If your kid comes up to you at 3, which they're going to, those are 3-year-old kids, it is your job to guide them to truth. That is your job as a parent. Remember the
Truth
verse.
is not hormone blockers.
It's not. It's not cutting off their genitals. It's not handing them a Barbie doll when they're a dude. It's not, you know,
Truth is not my truth or your truth.
No.
It is
The
the
truth.
truth.
right? You're fearfully, wonderfully made. And that is my final thought. Boys, it has been the best show we've ever done before because it's episode 150. It's so
150.
good, my glasses are fogging up from the intensity coming off of my face. That's how good the show was today. Dusty, a phenomenal job again as the producer. We'll give him with a final Dusty! Good job. I don't have a voice to do that anymore. 150 episodes.
Boom!
We haven't killed each other.
Look at that.
We have not killed each other. We've done some
I never thought we would.
damage. Did you think? But did you really think? Hey, we're gonna go 150 episodes. Did you think that? Did you have that foresight, that vision?
I hoped.
That's
I
pretty.
prayed.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good thought, guys. Love you guys. Put your faith and trust in Jesus. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible still has all the freaking answers. Go and seek them. And, listen. What? Don't be too white this week. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Love you guys.
Dismantle whiteness.
Dismantle whiteness. See you guys.